Hey, you guys. Happy Friday night. I think it's Friday. Yeah, happy Friday. I got a crazy thumbnail on this one. Well, first off, I have to say it is only 11:45 p.m. and I am on talking to you right now. So right off the bat, that's really impressive. Okay, because usually I'm up super late. Um, anyways, tonight I want to talk about getting business through cold calls, and this is kind of like one of those things where I think people are just freaked out about. They're freaked out about calling people, and I think it's that whole telemarketer thing. Especially if you've been targeted by people like that who just hound you and they're rude on the phone and they won't get off the phone with you, and it's just such a pain in the butt. And I don't think any of us want to be that. But the reality is as voiceover artists, our job is to get clients, right? And nowadays, everything is done over social media, the internet, social media, all that, right? But here's the thing: since so many people are going that route, it's a really good idea for us to go the other way and call someone and talk to someone on the phone. Because no matter what anyone says, the reality is if you can talk to someone, all right, you can get them to like you. Whereas, words on a screen never fully express emotion. Okay. I mean, like, for example, if I could talk to someone, I can listen to them, I can hear the tone in their voice, I can make adjustments, I can say what I need to say. I can get my personality across and let them know that I'm not, some blank face somewhere, around the world. I'm a real person, and I'm likable, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So I mean, that's cold calling can be your best friend. Okay. It is one of the fastest ways to talk to clients, to ask hard, simple questions because you called a place of business. All right. It's great. Okay. So, all right, let's talk about what cold calling is. All right. Cold calling is simply finding a customer that you want to target. All right. Getting their phone number, calling them up, and asking them for something. Okay. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think you should ask them for as we're calling customers. But, that's what cold calling is. It's calling somebody that we don't know. So it's just a cold call. Many years ago, I worked when I was in between jobs and in between acting and stuff. I actually worked in a bank, and I was a financial like service provider. So I wasn't like a financial advisor, but I did more than just like I wasn't a teller. I made sales and I called people. So I created this system because my salary and everything was based on selling, and I created this idea that instead of me focusing on me like myself and calling people and being rejected like they don't like me, I was going to create a system of numbers, and I was going to complete those numbers a day. All right. And the numbers being like how many calls, how many times I got to ask somebody a certain question, how many times, if I had written out a script, I got through the script. I, because I was trying, I was so nervous when I first started doing it that I wanted to remove my personal self from what was happening, like the fear that I was having inside, and create a system to where I could just plug into that system. And the more numbers, and the more I plugged into that system, if something wasn't working, it wasn't my fault. It was my system's fault. And that took a huge burden off of me. Now, I wasn't saying, I'm not saying don't be yourself. What I'm saying is if you create a system for your call, a script, what you're going to ask, when you ask it, all right, in different scenarios, okay, then it makes it so much easier and it takes the burden off of you. All right. So, that's what I did when I was working at a bank. And what I found was is that the more I plugged myself into this, I started to sell a lot more, and I started to grow, and I finally eventually became the number one salesman, and then I moved up and I got more money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, the point is, actually, then I left and I bought a business, but that's another story for another night. Um, on the meantime, acting. But the point I'm trying to make is that the system we create when we call someone, that's kind of what will set you free from the fear of the cold call. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about a script, maybe something that you can use and that you can tailor for yourself, just something simple I can use. Okay. Because so remember, a cold call is finding a customer you want to target that you've never talked to, calling them up on the phone, and then asking them a series of questions, okay, to get to the desired place that you want to get that person to. It's like the ultimate sales funnel immediately, instead of you putting out some commercial or some ad somewhere. Okay, so anyways, now let's talk a little bit about where we find customers for this. Okay. Google, it's not that difficult. I know some people are like, well, where do I find it? I got to go buy numbers. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. I will say this. Well, let's say you want to target the e-learning industry. Okay. And you go in and you type in e-learning companies into Google. Well, Google will produce all of these things that are not really what you're looking for, because they'll talk of like, it'll produce things like, what is an e-learning company? America's e-learning, top 10 e-learning companies, which is great. All right. I've called them. But what I'm saying, and everyone else has, but what I'm saying is you want to try to think outside the box. There's a great place to look for e-learning companies and business-based type companies, all right, which is LinkedIn, right? Any type of business type like that, that's like corporate e-learning, things where they're dealing with training, stuff like that. Typing that into LinkedIn is amazing, because it'll bring up, you can type in people, business, it will bring up all of these businesses and people that are involved in these businesses. And just by a little searching, looking at people's profiles and stuff, you can get names, you can type them into, then you can type them into Google, right? And then that gives you like the fuel you need to find the businesses. Yes, it takes some work, okay, but that is something that you need to do in order to find it. All right. Now, if you want to target production companies, like video production companies, type in video production companies into you could type them into Google. Video production companies are a little easier to find, I found, than e-learning companies in Google. E-learning companies in LinkedIn is pretty easy, but you got Instagram, you got Facebook, you've got all the YouTube. All of these are major search engines as well. And if you type in what you're looking for into those search engines, think beyond Google, you'll find businesses and you'll be able to call them. Okay. All right. So we're talking about calling tonight, not emailing. Okay. Because there's some programs out there that you can purchase software to get emails to the people you want to. All right. But anyway, so that's where you find these people. All right. Now, when you find them and you got the number, I want to tell you kind of what I do when I do a cold call. Okay. So the first thing I do is I make sure that I have my little script. Okay. I don't always follow it to the T anymore, but I have like a script. All right. And in that script, it's very brief. Okay. You want to be brief. You want to sound confident. The goal when you're calling someone should never be to expect to sell them your service right there on the phone. Your goal should be for them to, if anything, for them just to listen to your demo, right? For them to, and actually your first goal needs to be, are they accepting voice actors at the time? And do they work with voiceover actors? Or do they work with other type of actors? Do they work with actors, period? You might be calling somebody and realize, crap, this is not a company that uses voiceover actors. I've done that. You're going to do that stuff. There's nothing wrong with you if you're doing that. Okay. So anyways, so your script needs to have very simple, very quick, easy questions. Okay. So it needs to have, it needs to be able to find out if they accepting voice, or if they work with voiceover actors, if they are accepting demos, and if they are, who can they talk to? Who can you talk to get to get that demo to? All right, who do you talk to see if they're accepting it? Because most of the time when you call a company, you might not have, because it's a cold call, you might not have the exact number of the person you need to talk to. All right, so let's do a little sample, okay? All right, so let's say I find Joe's video production company, all right, and I call up Joe company, all right, and somebody picks up. Okay, first thing I'm going to say is I always say hello, and I say my name. All right, hello, my name is Anthony Pica. Okay, I just say that right out the bat. Hi, my name is Anthony Pica. Just nice and easy. And then the next part, I move into asking just a quick question for them to help, because you don't want to be weird on the phone. And I think that's our fear, right? We're going to be like, hello, is someone there? I'm trying to, right? We don't want to do that. We want to actually sound like we're confident. So I always say, hello, my name is Anthony Pica. I was hoping that you could help me. Okay, you can do this a couple ways, but I say, hey, I was hoping you could help me find the right person I'm looking for. Or you could say, hey, I was hoping you could point me in the right direction. Or, hey, I was hoping that you could help me. Or, hey, I need some help with something. Something where you are asking them a question where they don't have to really answer, because they're already there to help you, right? They're answering the phone. Okay, but it's a great tie-in to get you to ask the next question. You like say hello and your name. Next part is, I was wondering if you could help me with something. Okay, or I was wondering if you could point me in the right direction. The next part is, I'm trying to find the person who works with your voiceover actors, or I'm trying to find the person who hires voiceover talent, or I'm trying to find the creative director or the artistic director, or I'm trying to find, I'm trying to find the director of marketing, or I'm trying to find, you're trying to find one of those people, all right? Or you could say, I'm trying to find the person who deals with voiceover actors, okay? All right, and they will either say, yeah, that person is not here. We don't deal with that. Like I called someone the other day and they said, oh, that's really cool. We actually only work with on-screen actors for our e-learning, meaning that they work with actual people in their studio and they've filmed them. They don't work with voiceover actors. All right. So, that was something. All right. But typically what happens is you say, hello, my name is Anthony Pica, your name. I was hoping that you could help me find the right person. I'm looking for the person in your company who deals with voiceover actors, or I'm looking for your creative director, your artistic director. And if you say I'm looking for your creative director or the person who handles voiceover actors, okay, they will then tell you, all right, hey, that's me. Hey, yeah, they're not in right now, or yeah, that's Joe. Okay, and he's in right now. I can send you over, or he's not in, or she's not in, or whatever. So they say, hey, yeah, they're in. I'll send you over. They say thank you. All right. Once you get patched over to Joe, Joe picks up like, hello, this is Joe, and you say, hey, Joe, I'm a voiceover actor. I was simply calling to see if you guys are accepting demos right now. That's simple. Or, hey, I'm a voiceover talent. I work out of Richmond, well, outside of Richmond, Virginia. So I say, hey, I work outside of Richmond, Virginia. I was on your website. I really like. Another company I called the other day. They did. They believed in a specific type of teaching style that I like, because I've been a teacher for a good portion of my life as well. So I kind of connected with that teaching style. So I mentioned that. I said, hey, I was on your website. I really liked y'all. Y'all. You could hear on my southern drawl, y'all. I really liked y'all's teaching style, or, and so I thought I would call because I connected with you guys to see if you guys were accepting, demos right now. You want to get your demo in front of someone. Okay. And that way you're not, listen, remember I was talking about the system. That way you're not stuck with worrying about, do you need me? Like, you're not going to say, hey, I was wondering if you could hire me right now. Don't say that, because they're not, that would never happen. That's not going to happen. Right. Not in that context. What you want to do is you want to get on their radar. You want to get in their system. You just want to get somewhere in their hemisphere, or wherever they keep their little file cabinet they keep voiceover actors, or their file on their, their email, where, when they need a voiceover actor, they call you. Okay. Or you're in their roster. Okay. So you do that by placing the question not on, do you want to work with me? But hey, do you want to listen to my demo? Okay. It's that simple. They say, yeah, sure. Most of the time, most of the time it's, yeah, sure. Send us over your demo. Oh yeah, we're always accepting demos. Some of the time it's, hey, we're not accepting demos right now, but it's okay if, you send it over anyways. Or we typically, sometimes I get, we work with voices.com or voices123, or I've gotten people who say we get our people off of Fiverr, or we get our people from Voice Bunny, or whatever. All right. And then there's some people when you get a voicemail. All right. When it comes to a voicemail, you want to use your script that you have, but say, hey, my name is Anthony Pica. I'm a voiceover actor. And I'm, my studios, wherever you are located here. I was calling to see if you are accepting voiceover demos right now. If you would like to hear my demo, go to my website. All right, check it out, and you can give them your website. If you have a website, to do that, you'll need something for them to be able to go see on the voicemail. Who knows? I mean, you never know. You're getting yourself out there. All right. But that script style that I just gave you is so simple to do. And it's so quick that it makes your life super easy. Okay. And everywhere I've searched on YouTube, that script that I just told you is pretty much similar to all the other voiceover, coaches or actors. And it's because it works. You know what I mean? It works being that easy. Your job is just to get your demo in front of somebody. So you call and say, hey, hello, my name is Anthony Pica. I was wondering if you guys are accepting voiceover demos right now. You could just say that. You could skip all that other stuff. You'd be like, hey, my name is Anthony. I'm a voiceover actor. Are you guys accepting voiceover demos right now? They'll be like, well, I don't deal with that, but, Sam does. Jill does. Let me connect you. Great. Hey, Jill. My name's Anthony. I'm a voiceover actor. Are you accepting demos? Write that down, and that's what you can use. Okay, that's your script. All right. Well, hopefully that helps. The key is to write something down. I have these notepad, these note like these Post-it notes, but write down a system where you're trying to make a certain amount of calls, and you're trying to get a certain amount of stuff done, and get your demo in front of a certain amount of people, or email to a certain amount of people. Once you get that information too, all right, it's important that it's not a bad idea. I saw this. I don't know who said it. But I saw this. It's not a bad idea too to ask if you can contact them again in the future. That's a pretty good idea, right? Because you want to contact them again in the future, or ask them if you can, email them your demo. And if you have your email, or if you have their email, okay, then you can use that email for all other sorts of marketing types of things where you're not directly targeting them, but you're using their email, and things like Facebook ads where you can do lookalikes, all right, which is a great tip given to me by Earl Hall, and all kinds of different things that you can do with this type of cold calling strategy. All right, well, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys tonight. Go out and call some people. It's okay. The first one's going to be scary. All right, the second one is not going to be that bad. After that, you're going to be like, I can do this. This is easy. All right. It's not that hard. All right. At first, it will feel like it. But once you get yourself out there, all right, it'll be a lot more easy. It'll be easier. All right. Well, there you go. Hope that helps. Please like this, share it, subscribe to the channel. All right. Check out my podcast if you want to. I do that every night as well. It's a VO's journey where I just ramble on and on, kind of like here. But that's a little bit more fun because I'm behind a mic and I can just go, woo. So, go ahead and check that out. And I really appreciate it. Subscribe. All right, you guys, you have a wonderful Friday night. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.